All right. Race Brain, HYROX Show. It's your boy, Matt Mason. Today, I'm joined by the fastest North American landmass record holder in America, the 17th best OCR racer of all time, and the Deca stats man himself. What's up, Rich? What's up, Brakken? What's up, Jack? How we doing, boys?
Welcome to the Okras.
Very special day. We got the Okras. The name doesn't work particularly well, but we just like the name.
Yeah.
Hokras.
Brakken made a food joke last time, and that was great.
I actually kind of like the Hokras. It's pretty on brand for Race Brain.
Hybrid OCR.
Almost sounds like Hoka shoes. Like
Correct. See, Jack gets it.
I was thinking
our
more
own
of like
brand.
a Hoey stock of okra.
Mm.
We see.
We'll workshop that.
Nah, that's not it.
Matt Mason brought us in like the spectacular host that he is, but I'm taking over. Do they do that on award shows? Is there like
Yeah,
someone
Kanye
introduce
does that.
the host?
Yeah,
Kanye
Kanye
Look,
introduced
I'm
the
gonna
host.
let you finish.
I'm gonna let Taylor finish, but
Someone introduces like Jimmy Kimmel and he comes out and gets booed.
Is that true? Like, is it like on the PA or is it like a person?
It's got to be a PA.
Got to be a PA. So that works. Yes, we have the HYROX Rundown presented by Race Brain or something. We got something here. We're working it out. First, HYROX.
Drop your ideas
Rundown.
in the comments.
Give
What
us
should
some
we
name
call it?
ideas for the HYROX Rundown presented by Race Brain. But this is the first episode on the feed. Thank you for joining us. Matt Mason will be here always giving interviews, giving hot takes. But today we got to review the year that was in hybrid racing. HYROX, DEKA, the whole deal. Very exciting year. Jack and Brakken, where are we in terms of hybrid racing compared to OCR? When OCR was ascending, what year are we in now?
2016.
I don't
think,
know the
like-
year. I know the moment. It's when it went to Tahoe.
Yep. I was thinking the year after the first Tahoe.
Yep.
Like you've got your NBC deals, you've got your big money thrown around, some real good money for the World Championship events. All the athletes want to do it. It doesn't matter if you're from Europe, North America. Like athletes are traveling around the world when they get the opportunity to face the best in the sport. That is where we are at.
I like it. So we are ascending. We have some really awesome performances that we are going to be able to review here for our hybrid awards. Hokras beta name there. So let's just get into it. Wheel of names. Ready to pop it up?
While you do, I have a question from Matt Mason. Maybe this has been gone over already. I see an NCAA All-American award, it looks like, in the background, a trophy on that case. Is that yours? Is that Dawson's? Are you muted?
Oh, muted.
I don't know how. I don't know.
it's
how he heard-
mine. It's mine. It's just D3 though, so it doesn't. If for Rich Ryan and Matt B. Davis, it doesn't count. They would just dunk on me because I'm just a D3 athlete, so they wouldn't
Just
care.
a D3.
From what? I don't know this about you.
College World Series, Webster University. We went back-to-back years, 2010 and 2011.
BK was a baseball player. Did you know that, Matt?
Well,
I did. I listened to a. I don't remember. It might have been Rock's Life, where BK talked about his upbringing and all the different sports that he played. So BK was a baller. He did it all.
I got cut from 2 baseball teams in college, if that's what you call a baseball player.
Congrats.
Yeah. Look where it led you.
Right here to the Hokras.
17th best OCR athlete of all time. Bet no one else on that team.
Would you play, Matt? Were you a 2-bagger?
Well, you haven't met me yet in person, but Rich has. So Rich, you just take one look at my stature, and what do you think I played, Rich?
I mean, second base is the second.
Second.
That's the second one that I would guess, but my guy's
Right
behind
field,
the plate.
maybe?
My guy's behind
Definitely
cannon?
behind
cannon?
the plate.
Yeah.
Did have a
okay.
cannon. Did have a cannon.
Nice.
Nice.
the plate. Got a hose.
I'm short and thick, so catcher it is for me.
Catcher it is. We got the wheel of names up. We're going to go in order for who's going to nominate our Hokras here. And it looks like
It's going to get there.
It's
it's me. I'm there.
Yep.
We're going to keep it moving. So how we do this is we nominate a different person for each award, and then we basically debate on it. There's a possibility of ties, and BK is going to go second. So we're live here on YouTube, so maybe we'll ask the YouTube viewers to come in for tiebreakers if needed. Matt Mason, drop in third. And then, Jack, we'll give you a little spin. The last spin
Give me that award.
of 2024 for the Wheel of Names. It's been a great year again for the Wheel of Names.
Yeah.
A banner year for the Wheel of Names. All right. So our first category is performance of the year. We are going to do male and then female. So each going to nominate what we thought the best performance was of the season. So this is not the season. This is calendar year. Right?
Not confusing at all.
I
is
like
since
season.
January 1st. I did 2024 if that was the date on which this event happened. Like I'm not counting Stockholm from season 6, but I am counting some of the 2024.
Well, you'd have to count
season
Vienna though.
events. Yeah.
Because
Yes.
when we did this show last year, Stockholm would have been included in the Okras last year.
Yeah.
Yep. BK,
This
get
is
on
a
board.
2024 show.
I won't.
Speaking of Vienna, I'm going to nominate Alex Ronkovich in Vienna, where he had the home crowd and absolutely smashed everybody with the rower debacle thrown in there and still just was dominant from basically the start and really delivered. And that was probably that was more or less his ascension, right? Because earlier it was Chicago where he finished second, and then Stockholm where he finished second. And then he comes out and wins this in dominating fashion, really kind of set him up for the conversation to be challenging for the world championships. So I like Ronk in Vienna. Matt, what you like?
That's hard to argue.
Yeah,
Wasn't I
Brakken was,
third? Bracken was second.
Bracken.
My bad. BK, you're up.
Disrespect is huge already on this show.
We're about it.
I get it. I didn't race a HYROX this year. Jack, what was ours this year?
No, it was last year.
Yeah.
November,
So
or
I
2023.
get it. I'm being put in the corner, but I'm still going to say Meg at World Championships.
Oh, we're combining genders.
No, we're not.
We're not.
No.
Bracken. Do your
Fine,
homework.
give me men's doubles. Performance
For
of
who?
the year.
Yeah.
For
For
what?
you.
For me,
Give us the specifics.
I think
Rich
that
Ryan.
are you, like Anaheim, like which one? That's
Yeah,
not even this year.
Rich implied we're not doing calendar year. This dates back. They should fall in the window.
We're doing
We're
calendar.
doing
year.
calendar year.
I mean, sorry, we're not doing season. So that calendar year should fit, right?
It was Dallas last year.
Yeah.
Pass.
Matt, you're
I'm
up.
not prepared.
All right.
I operate
All right,
under
all
a
right, I
different
got
set of
this.
circumstances here.
I'm gonna go.
Goodness.
This one people forget. People forget. I'm gonna go with North American Championships. However, I am not gonna go with the Elite 15 race. I am actually gonna go with the race that took place the next day, the Go Ruck Championships. And you think you know who I'm going with, but you don't. I am going to go with Lauren Weeks. And the reason why I'm going with
What?
Lauren Weeks is because
This is
after
male.
Matt,
Male
Matt, we're
first.
doing the
Yeah,
male
but you're right.
category.
Okay, fine.
We are
Either
oh
way.
my
All right,
to a
God.
horrendous
Fine.
Start
start.
this show
Fine.
over.
I had these both.
Yeah, we're
I had
live.
these
We're
both-
live.
I had these
Oh,
both
my
locked. I had
God.
these both locked. So I am still going to go with the same race. I'm going to go with the male side. I am actually going to go with Dylan Scott. And the reason why
Okay.
I'm going to go with Dylan Scott is because after he had the great win the night before, which he dominated, by the way, I went and looked it up last night. I think he took control. It was either at the sled push or the sled pull, and he never looked back. He went toe to toe with Jarrett Newby, who a lot of people consider to be the greatest rucker of our
Undisputed.
generation,
The goofiest
Undisputed.
athlete in the world.
the goofiest athlete in the world. And Dylan Scott only lost to him by, what was it, 2 seconds, Rich? Jack? It was like 2 seconds.
Burpee
Yeah.
off, or wall ball
Which-
off. Yeah.
Which
very good
basically, no offense and disrespect to Jarrett, but if Dylan has fresh legs at all, well, fresh for Dylan, if he doesn't race the night before, I think he's got him.
And they ran like 60. They're like right.
He
at-
ran 60.
Wow.
It was like right at 60, right after running a 55, then like not even 18 hours beforehand. Ridiculous.
I like it. I like thinking out of the box.
Yep.
You know, it's going to be an interesting one for, performance of the year. Someone getting second. Shout out to you for that one.
Hey, well, you know what? We want to give people what they want to hear on the show. And if we only go with people that win, we haven't. This is my only beef with HYROX. There's not enough big races for 4 of us to have somebody for every category. That's all I'm saying.
You're speaking OCR's language right now. What we need is 9, 10, 12
10,
world champions.
all the
championships.
Yep.
Just so
All
let's
right.
talk about the
I'll
open.
redeem
Bracken's
myself
ready.
with
Whoa,
a
Bracken asserting himself back in the lineup. You passed.
I'm assertive.
Single pass.
Single pass.
LCQ Jonathan Wynn, Lucas Storath. I think that right there was a gritty way to get into world championships. Now, Lucas didn't partake in world championships, but it doesn't change the fact that he went from out of the conversation to like what 56-12.
Yeah,
3 years off, basically.
Really
Yeah, and
good.
I think he beat Win by like a minute 20. So it
Yeah.
wasn't even all that close in the end.
But to go 57 mid and 56 low in Anaheim, and in a day where it's like win or go home, that performance by both of them, but in particular Lucas, was just kind of shocking.
And every single North American athlete had that race circled on their calendar if they weren't able to get into a major. They flew across the Atlantic Ocean and across all of North America, came into our country, and ended up taking care of business.
All right, I'm going to pull up exact results. 56-18, Hunter 56-03 on that course. So just a startling performance from Lucas.
That's a good one.
Yep. Are we doing hybrid? Are we allowing Deka? Because I need to mention. Okay, I'm just making sure because it says the HYROX Rundown. My performance.
Yes, but then I do have a follow-up question to that after Jack is done.
HYROX Rundown is for search purposes.
I got you. Just making sure. I think the performance of the year was Dylan Scott in the Deka Ultra. What he did back to back, 5 straight 32 mid or so with transition time and everything. We knew this was the event where he would arguably be untouchable, but that mark was insane. He was like 248, 250. He was sub 250. We were just baffled going over that recap after that show. That was such in his wheelhouse, and he delivered more than we thought he could.
You know, these are both good points. Dylan getting nominated twice, and both in events that are kind of goofy. Maybe Dylan gives Jared a run for his money for Goofy Games athlete.
Well, he literally did in the other in a Goofy event.
And he's got a Dekadog. He's got another Dekadog coming too.
Yeah,
the goat.
That was a hell of a performance. Also, he was like 46 minutes in that.
He's the goat when it comes to Dekadog. That's a good one. I forgot about the Deka Ultra. That was
needed to get mentioned
crazy.
at some point.
Was crazy.
Jack, as the stats man, with 32 mid, where would that have put him in the elite field at World Championships?
Like where I was at, because I had a bad day. But yeah, he wouldn't have qualified individually. Like he probably would have been a 25th to 30th on the regular season if his average of those 5 back.
There were people at World Championships in the 32 range, right?
Derek York got a roll down. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was insane.
All right, so what are we gonna do? I did have a couple of honorable mentions. Todd mentions it here. I thought Sandy's performance at Nice was pretty crazy. Just like not necessarily. He did what we thought he could do, but we never seen him do it. And I thought JK at his last chance qualifier was also just like killing people, running 54 low.
He's gonna get mentioned somewhere else. This isn't the award for him though.
Right,
if Sandy would have held, again, no disrespect to Sandy, maybe a slight disrespect. If he would have held on, it would have been the performance of the year. But
you're not. You're out here nominating second place. You got second place. You're for
that.
But
the circumstances matter.
Right.
I'm with Jack. Dylan Scott Ultra. That's my
Dylan
vote.
for the Ultra.
It's the most outstanding performance of all the things we mentioned.
I'm actually going to side with Rich only because that race was a debacle, and the ability to stay in it mentally and then still win in as dominating of a fashion as he did. I would probably go with the Ronk race.
I'm gonna go Ronk as well. So we have a tie. First
Wheel of
person
names.
for
Wheel of names. There we go.
Wheel of names.
First
We've
person.
had a tie before. We did in the past. It was Katie Knight and Emma Cook Clark winning.
I'm going
Breakout
Ronk.
once.
I'm flip flopping. I watched that live and I was titillated.
It was crazy with the rower thing too, and just like didn't matter.
And Kirk and I watched that live, and Kirk can't sit still for longer than like 20 minutes in front of a TV, and he watched the entire race.
Wow.
So for that alone, our bygone era of Kirk DeWint comes into play. We vote Ronk.
That was a really good race. We also had Pelayo in that race. He wound up finishing second with a really strong back half. Tim was really good in that race. That was a good race.
Yeah, and if you look, Alex won 54-28 and 57-13 was second place. So he won by almost 3 minutes on his home soil. Crowd was behind him. You knew he was that was circled on his calendar months ahead when it got announced, but he delivered.
Did they take time off of his time?
I think they paused his clock and were like, okay, it took 20 seconds for your rower to.
Yeah, they gave
get active.
everybody time back.
Not Sandy.
Did I
Okay,
get time
even
back?
if it was 20, 30 seconds,
Oh
he's
my
still winning by 2 minutes in a major. That doesn't happen too often.
Right.
He also interacted with the crowd more than anyone we've
Yeah.
ever seen, including Hunter. Maybe matched Hunter, but had more like interaction back from the crowd. Hunter elicits a reaction from the crowd when he does this thing. The crowd was like symbiotic with Alec. It was the most special moment of the year. But Jack, I
Ron,
like your vote.
congratulations. Check is in the mail. Let's move on to the ladies.
You think Ronks ever had an okra? Like
Actually, the
an
oak.
actual consumed okra?
I don't think that
That
they
doesn't seem
would
like
eat
a-
that. I don't
an
think they eat that
Austrian food, yeah.
Austrian okra with a side of sausage,
Maybe we'll, instead of a check, we'll mail him some okra. Do that.
some pickled okra.
Yeah.
All right. For the females, we know we have at least 2 solid nominations on the female side. So why don't we get things going? Bracken, who do you like here?
Amy Bevilacqua, last chance
we're-
qualifier.
We're changing it. Okay. The old curveball. I like this one. This was really an amazing performance out of her, even though she finished second there. Third.
Yeah.
Was it technically second? Had someone already qualified?
She was third. Yes. No, she was second. It was Camilla, Amy. Then I think it was
I thought Vivian
Maria
was second.
Fetchik.
I thought
End
Vivian.
of the show at last chance qualifier.
Yeah.
Vivian Tifudo at last chance qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter raced there also.
Oh, if you're
She
looking
was
at,
previously
wasn't in the
qualified.
race.
Anyway, she was the
Yeah,
second
she was
qualifier.
there.
She got a
Vivian was
spot
there,
as a
but she
result of
raced
it.
on her own.
63-47. Proves she's not a fluke. And then it just started the clock on how long can this go for? And is there more there? And like this moment was special, but what it signified and what it became is also kind of weighed into my decision.
What she's doing at 50 years old is just insane. That time alone is amazing, but then you add the year next to it. It's crazy.
All right, I
I'm
like
also
it.
apparently a big last chance qualifier guy.
He loves the last chance qualifiers.
Nah, just one.
No,
LCQ.
Bracken just wanted to mention Lucas right off the bat. He's got a thing for him.
That's his boy. Lactate training during
Matt, you're
racing.
up.
All right. I mean, this is easy because I just gave it away. But Lauren won DC by a minute in the elite race. Then the next day came back, won the Go Ruck race by a minute 20. And a fun fact about that race that I don't know if many people remember, she accidentally ran an additional lap out the gate. So not only did she win by a minute 20 in the Go Ruck race, it probably was actually like a minute 45, a minute 50. And that one actually was like, I think it was just past 12 hours after the elite race took place. I mean, just insane. It was it's crazy to do a HYROX fast. It's even crazier to do it with a weight vest. And just for fun, even though it is open weight, they are wearing a 20-pound vest. Her winning time was 62:11. Her time the night before was 61:20. So she was only 50 seconds slower than the race the night before, and she ran an additional lap.
Who got second at the Go Ruck?
Vivian.
Wow. So pretty good. So Vivian also, she got third at Worlds.
There was some money on the line there also. So
Yeah, wasn't it like 10K?
yeah, it's like 5 or 10K.
No way.
Or maybe it was a 10K.
It was like
Maybe it was
1K.
five. It was
5-2-3 or
5-3-2.
something. Yeah, something,
Something like that.
Yeah,
but there was,
it was
yeah, it was
something.
10K total.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so the results for that race were the Go Ruck race were Lauren Weeks, Vivian Tifudo, Lauren Rantala, Camilla Massa, Carly Wopat. And then Jess Petra was in that race. So was Alondra Greenlee.
Yeah, stacked.
So was Janelle Teal.
Yep.
Shout out DEKAFIT.
Jack.
All right, my performance of the year, we talked about how Alex ended up winning Vienna by almost 3 minutes. Well, Meg won the world championship by 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
Thank you.
She didn't have a win in any of the majors prior to that. She got second or third in all 3 of the big races she did prior to that. And then she's like, I'm winning worlds. And we know Lauren didn't have her best day, but she ended up finishing second after all. but Meg was untouchable that day. And just when you are on another level at a world championship race and you win, I don't know how that can't be the performance of the year.
It is.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. So I will nominate Joanna Whitrick with her most recent performance in Hong Kong, beating Lauren Weeks, and was really kind of ascending. Just an awesome performance, something that we don't typically see or haven't really seen on this female space. So it's worth noting that that was pretty awesome on her end.
Yeah.
Just to clear up the record for my homegirl Meg, Jack, please throw some respect on her name. You just said that she had not won a major. She won the first two majors of the year last year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
she won Chicago,
messed
and then she won Chicago, and she won Stockholm. So
I'm talking 2024 calendar. I'm only looking at 2024 calendar. You're right.
Calendar
Season wise,
again.
yes, you're correct.
This is why it sucks.
Yeah, we're sticking with calendar.
I'm just saying, throw some respect on Meg.
No.
I
was
New Year's Eve.
talking.
They split the majors last year.
Amsterdam second, and then Vienna, she got second and third in DC. Those were the three that I was referring to, in addition to her win in Nice in 2024 only.
It's the type of attention to detail I'd expect from a man recording in the attic eaves with his bed in plain view of the camera.
Yeah, this is the guest room.
It was better when it was. Yeah. So. All right. Some honorable mentions here, I would say. Well, let's go ahead and pick a winner first.
It's gotta be Meg.
It's Meg.
I'm going with Meg.
Everything else is window dressing. Great performances. We've not seen a blowout like that on the women's side.
Dominating, and that was like the rubber match of the season too. Really delivering when needed to be, her first world championship. So checks in the mail.
I think Lauren at DEKAFIT World Championship was on the same level where it's like, you will not lose today. You are so superior to everyone else in terms of fitness today. It was incredible what she did there. I
had that as honorable mention for sure. Just setting a world record and how fast she ran.
Yeah.
The craziness. That has to be her 5K PR.
She was running faster than most of the guys in that same race.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. But
what did we decide? She would have finished like top 8 on the men's side. It was like something ridiculous
10th or so. Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it. Yep. Moving on.
All right. The I Don't Wipe My Butt Cheeks Jack Award for hybrid racing moment of the year. Who starts? Jack?
Matt.
I think it's me. The moment
of the year.
The moment of the year.
We decided to do this might have been a throw-in. We decided to do this just for the name.
Like what?
So Matt, kick it off.
Matt gets a skip.
I'm gonna go. I mean, for moment of the year, I'm gonna go probably back to World Championships for HYROX as well. Ronkovic winning. I think Mr. Consistent. We've talked about on the show ad nauseum at this point. Never does worse than second or third, but would he finally break through to go blow for blow with Sandy to outlast his arch rival Hunter McIntyre and to win on European soil? I'm going to go with Ronk because we are doing men, correct? Just so I don't.
We're going to blend this again. We're going to blend.
Now we're blending.
We couldn't have been any more clear.
Now we're blending.
Matt, pay attention.
All right, I'm sticking with Ronk.
Check the show notes.
Jeez. Yeah.
Professional operation that we run here.
Keeping it in Wisconsin. I'm up, Jack.
Whoa, no, I'm up. You get back in line. You already took.
I cut you last time. I tried.
Yeah.
Sneak in
all
again.
Right. My moment of the year was James Kelly ending up getting third place in Nice. We saw him for many races over the past couple of years. Prior to that, he was getting 6th, 7th, 9th, just barely even making it into the Elite 15 with the help of roll downs and stuff. And then that has led to what we've seen in the second half at the start of the season 7 so far in 2024, where he's won a major, he's got second in another one. But that moment where he was just in the fight with Alex and Sandy, that was like he elevated to a different level at that moment.
Yeah, I like it. And that was like, can he do it on like the big stage where it was last chance qualifier and murdered everybody? But like, what does that mean after we saw him, finish mid pack for most of the majors, and then to come out and to end up on the podium is definitely a great moment.
He was good enough to get in, but not enough to be a factor. And now we're talking about him potentially winning Worlds this upcoming season.
For sure.
Yeah. And that sounds like a really good vote for Breakout Athlete of the Year.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But for moment.
For moment, Rich is going to go. So
I'm going to do, and this actually came from Patreon members. I'm just going to, and I liked it, so I'm using it. Lauren's comeback at Worlds, coming from 7th or 8th or something like that, and dead in the water, working herself all the way back up to finish basically a photo finish at wall balls with that crazy ending, but coming back, never quitting, fighting all the way through to finish in 2nd after a disaster of a front half of the front piece of the race.
Over 40 minutes into the race, she was in 7th place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when I think of moments
Actually,
of the year.
To be fair, wasn't she like 57 minutes in the race? She was 7th going into wall balls, was she not?
Yeah. No, she was 5th into wall ball. I looked it up last night.
8th going into lunges, I think.
She was 7th after the rower.
The lunges, so like 50, so pretty, like even further. I digress.
I agree. When I think of the moments of the year,
get it right, Jack.
When they cross the line, as you're watching and you're noticing that numbers are ticking up and she's closing, but she might run out, she might not, and then someone runs across the line and did they count or not? Do they have to come back? And there's just chaos and everyone's sitting there and no one really knows what happens, but they know it was spectacular. It was one of those, no matter what the scoreboard says, everyone left satisfied kind of thing. Like it was just a moment, and that was unreal. And so
she was 6 into lunges.
Yeah, she left in 5th. There were about 5, 6 athletes within about 20 seconds of each other at lunges, and she just kept grinding away.
So 51 minutes into the race, she's in 6th place.
Yeah.
But the most shocking moment of the year, the one that made me go, oh, the most, was watching the moment Hunter got disconnected from Ronkin Sandy at World Championships. We had said before he had never won a race where he wasn't winning coming out of burpee broad jumps. He had never lost a race where he was, had that dominant lead coming up. And he's in the second half of the race here and he's still like engaged with them, but they're throwing surges. And suddenly the line just started to break. We realized someone's going to win this here and it's not Hunter. It was just really shocking to see in that moment.
I've not revisited this race on YouTube, but that was after the row. He had a farmer's carry, right? That did not go well for him.
He dropped it, yeah, around the corner, and then Alex passed him, I think, and
it
was all over after that.
That's a good one. All right, so we have Lauren's comeback, Hunter getting dropped, Ronco at Worlds, JK at Worlds.
I'm gonna go the women's battle.
Lauren's comeback.
I also vote for Lauren's comeback.
Lauren's comeback.
It's a clean sweep. The Lauren's comeback. That was crazy. That was crazy. She's an amazing competitor. Amazing competitor. All right. On to upset of the year, combined male and female within the calendar year, HYROX and DEKAFIT. Do we all understand?
Combined genders, 2024 only.
2024.
Get it right, Brakken.
No.
Who's up?
Am I up? Who's up?
It should be Jack.
That's me.
4th.
I'm not going to get that right this entire time. I'm not paying attention one bit.
All right. I'm going to mention this only because no one else will, and I don't think it's necessarily the winner.
Dare you.
But that Deka Strong men's battle where you had Colin Stiefer edge Christopher Von Hoff for 2nd place and overtake Kevin Gregory, who was the presumptive favorite and the crowd favorite at that race was really good to watch. It was 1 second, so a single burpee. Colin entered burpees in 3rd place, ended up walking away with the title by a second at the end. That was such a big upset in my book.
That came in through Patreon. A couple people said that.
And it was his 3rd race of the weekend.
That's a really good one. I like that a lot. And okay, now it's me. Now it's back to me. I had a couple things, but we've mentioned. I'm gonna put JK here over Ronk in Hong Kong. or over everybody, I guess.
Everybody,
But
Ronk was 6th. So yeah.
Ronk was 6th, right? So him kind of
Mhm.
being back, but JK kind of taking that win again, just another step in his ascension. How Jack mentioned before, we've got to talk about him when considering who are the favorites at Worlds this year, and that's just like just a big win. And Ronk was out here saying he was trying to win all of the races, and he thought this was going to be his year where he could potentially do that and be dominant. But JK came through.
It's a good one.
Thank you.
Maybe even be the best one, but it's not the most satisfying. Oh,
Whoa!
What happened to your lighting?
I'm gonna get this going with
You
my
gotta
mouth
plug in.
first.
Brakken doesn't know what year we're in.
I don't love
doesn't-
that phrasing. And then I'm going to figure out the lights. The most satisfying, the most destructive and definitive upset of the year was a tag team upset in Toronto, HYROX Men's Pro from Heat 2. Marcus Wallace and Dawson Miller beating everyone,
It's a homer pick.
waxing the entire pro men's field from Heat 2. Just showing up, 2 training buddies, taking care of business, and crushing the rest of the world with ease. That's upset of the year. We've
You're
never seen it
speaking-
happen. We've never
you're-
seen people go 1-2 from the second heat at a legit pro field.
You're speaking Matt Mason's language. Marcus
He
Wallace
retired
agrees.
Nikita.
He's out here
That's right.
just repping. Yeah, it's a homer pick if I've ever heard of it.
Is it wrong?
It's not. It's not. That's
I-
that is actually a good one. Out of like the
Good
fifth
nomination.
heat, not even the second heat.
It's a good pick. I do love it. You are playing at the heartstrings, but you said, or the category is upset. And I don't know that I would consider JK to be an upset because he's definitely going to win one of these other awards, at least in my opinion, in terms of his meteoric rise over the last 12 months. If I go back and look at I'm going to go all the way back to HYROX DC. These are some of the names that we have in the men's field. James Kelly, Lucas Storath, Ryan Kent, the fastest North American in North America, Rich Ryan, Graham Holiday, Florian Gass. But only one man took the victory that day, and that was Dylan Scott with a 56-37. No offense, Rich, waxing the rest of the field. He won by over 90 seconds on Graham Holiday and Rich as well. And again, Dylan catches a lot of flack. He's really good. He trains really hard, but hasn't always necessarily had the best performances in majors or on the biggest stage, and took down some very large names in that race with authority. Going Dylan.
All right, so we got Dylan at DC, Debo over the world,
And Dawson.
but Dawson too.
Dawson beat all of them as well.
The
But not
Milwaukee
Debo.
special.
They didn't beat Debo. Colin at Deca Strong. So we're not gonna say the field over Hunter, and that's another one Marcus put in there.
Second
Lyo there.
second time getting 5th place at Worlds. That is just it's crazy. Hunter's done that. Sandy finishing. That would
Defies the odds.
Are we still talking about HYROX?
yes.
What do we like here? What do we like here?
I think I'm going to shake up from the start and say JK taking out the undefeated hype train before it even started.
I mean,
We
he
may
did
finish
win.
the year and say that's not an upset. But in that moment, I don't think anyone saw it
was the
really
first time he
happening that
beat-
way.
It's the first time he beat Ronk. Right.
We were
Very
talking,
few
is
asked,
Ronk
yeah.
just now Thanos?
Right.
And he got beat right off the bat.
I like it. I'm looking at the Colin one. That was just so unexpected.
The podium, like multiple people took out Kevin, and it's not taking away from Kevin. It's just what he did last year and like his reputation at this point. He is Mr. Deca Strong. You just expect him to win, and Colin
He
played.
did like
played
1,000.
Asian.
He did 1,000 races though. That's
Well,
what I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at. I'm like, in terms
But
of,
so did Colin. Like he had raced many times.
I'm not surprised. Like, I'm not surprised Colin won. I get.
But Christopher Von Hoff went like 14:30 at Deka Strong a couple years ago. Didn't even qualify in 2023, and then comes within 1 second of winning a world title against a pretty solid field.
We also didn't put on Joanna over Lauren.
In Hong Kong.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That deserves to be mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Debo here just to be like,
Evo.
no one ever would have thought he would do great. That's unreasonable that he would do that well, says Brakken. So I'm with that. I'm going.
That's
Debo.
what you're taking out of this?
That's what
I
he
guess
said.
that makes me the tiebreaker. And
I haven't voted yet.
well,
I'm not going with myself. Yeah.
However, I could shake this up. This is now my show since we were splitting it off, and Wisconsin boys do rule the world. So Debo and Dawson shocking the world.
All right.
Are they the first winners to ever chime in on the live show?
Yeah, Debo was out there.
Should we call him in real quick
looming.
and have him accept his prize, give a
He's-
speech, all that?
he's threatening, looming around.
Yeah, I'm just looking on my show like, hey, you won. Will you let go of my family now?
Yeah.
He's outside of Bracken's
You're
door
at
right now.
gunpoint.
Congrats, Debo.
He's on
Text
the
him
other
out.
side of the camera.
You can pick up your
That's why
check.
That's why Brakken hasn't.
That's his
blinked.
lights. That's why they went out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
you
he
cut the
hasn't
power
blinked
to
in
our
10
house.
minutes.
You can pick up your check in West Dallas.
Debo, I got to tell you, as long as you're live on here, one of the family gifts this year was Tosa Pool Pass. So I'll be seeing you in the
Nice.
water with the kids all summer.
Wow.
We got to work on our beach body starting now.
Matt, you hear this? You got to get in on this pool pass situation.
Dude, I'm
Matt,
just
what do you know
waiting for the.
about Tosa
I'm just
Pool?
waiting for the BK invite.
I don't know what that means.
He's in.
Brakken lost a lot of weight recently. He's probably got a good.
I don't invite
body at
anyone
the
anywhere.
moment.
He doesn't go nowhere. All right. On to
Next.
best race battle
Rich
of the
go
season.
first.
This is combined for this 2024 calendar year.
We should be back to Rich.
I'm back. I had Sandy versus Ronk at Nice. This race was just awesome. Like an actual surging back and forth. Sandy dropping an actual move on a run is something that I don't know we've ever seen a surge like that happen in the middle of at that late in a race. So just like actual race tactics coming into play, and them, and you also throw Hunter into the mix there with, just the champion around, and then basically using team tactics to drop them, and then Sandy coming into wall balls in first, and then Ronk being able to cross the finish line before him. Crazy battle.
Going out at a suicidal pace, basically breaking the field after making a move like that. That's hard to do.
Who's up?
Brakken.
I'm not even going to submit anything else. That's the greatest HYROX men's race I've ever watched in my life. And I won't sully its name or reputation by even trying to give someone else kudos. Ronk and Sandy put on something I've never witnessed before.
All right. Nice. Who else?
That was the best race that I've ever seen live, because we have to have a nomination, although that is going to be my vote when we get there. The men's battle in Amsterdam was a very fun race to watch. Rylan was in that race. We'd always, last year, I shouldn't say we because I wasn't on the show yet, but last year you all talked about hypothetically what would happen to Hunter if someone like a Rylan wanted to take the race out hot. Would anyone go with him? Would Hunter try to go with him? Would he cover the move? Rylan did that in his race, which was pretty impressive, especially given all the troubles that he's had this year with breathing and everything else going on. And although he was not able to hold on, he still fought his way back into the race, finished third, securing his spot for the rest of the year. And then JK was in that race too, which is also why I didn't say that I thought it was necessarily a huge upset that JK won in Hong Kong, because in Amsterdam, he came into wall balls within 9 seconds of Ronk and only finished 20 seconds after him. So it was not a clear and decisive victory. It was pretty tight up until the end. So for our money's worth, I thought that was also a great race to watch.
I had that as well. And just like they were within 2 wall balls of each other.
Yeah. At one point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, but this is the best race battle, and battles get physical, and you can't do a category like this without mentioning the man who has tried to injure previous opponents such as Glenn Race. David Magida, what he and James Muscart did in their battle at the DEKAFIT teams race against the Spanish team, just assaulting his competitors across the line, basically. That is a battle, and it was actually a good race, all things kidding aside. It was like truly a 1 second, not even photo finish at the end, and in a really good battle back and forth. A lot of
Was
lead
that
changes.
mile teams? What teams
That was
this?
DEKAFIT teams.
DEKAFIT teams.
That's
premier one.
HYROX's athlete ambassador to the world. Throwing stiff arms and punches on a DEKA course.
Multiple times
to see it.
assaulting
I
fellow
thought it was
athletes.
fine. I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought that was fair.
He ended up with a flat tire in his shoe.
He got the
I think
Philly
Does that go to say, or does that go to show how not relevant DEKA is at this point? That is one of the most talked about things from that weekend, and it was a non-issue.
it was a good race, regardless.
Bracken
Yeah.
hated it. It was
It was an
teams. He
issue.
threw it out.
It was an issue.
I didn't care. I thought it was great.
I thought it was fine.
You can think it's
That's
great
smart.
and an issue.
Smart.
So
Do
I'm
that.
taking the literal approach on this battle right there. We need some physicality.
I think that's a great nomination.
That wasn't a battle, it was a mugging.
That's true. Pressing charges, but it's not the winner.
We just giving it to Ronk and Sandy?
Definitely.
That was the best HYROX race, I think, that we may have ever seen to date.
Yep.
And it's just the perfect timing, right? At the World Championships that they were really hyping up, and the broadcasting has just gotten better and better and more professional. And then to have a race like that, where in previous years, where Hunter just killed everybody, it like you couldn't really put you couldn't show the whole race and display what HYROX is about, and to have it be happening at Worlds, just like
perfect.
just great. For
And
the sport.
people talk about how Hunter finished 5th, but I think what a lot of people forget is that Hunter was also in that dogfight until Farmers Carries. It was not a 2-man race.
Mhm.
Hunter was right there. He blew up in the Farmers Carries, and then he got eaten up by JK and Pelayo. But it was a 3-dog race for 42 minutes. I mean, they were trading blows. I mean, it was incredible to watch.
And you've got to have some guts to put a move on Hunter late in the race, knowing like, hey, he's won multiple world titles. What if he's just playing it safe right now and he's got something left in the tank? Like,
because you don't think he's gonna crack. Like
No.
now we talk about like what's gonna happen, but at that race, no one thought he was gonna crack. Everyone thought that Ronk and Sandy were crazy for going with him and making the moves that they made. I mean, that race was amazing.
and I think that if we already didn't give it an award to the women's 2nd through 5th battle on wall balls in Nice, that was definitely worthy of nominating, but it already got a different award. But that battle was the best women's battle we saw all year.
You could do DEKA Strong because how
Brooklyn
Clay
Nichols, Tara,
or that
or
too.
the-
Yeah,
yeah,
You can't because they're not even next to each other.
they're not really battling.
that was.
If they were at least next to each other in lanes, you could have a battle. But those were battles in isolation. That was a battle the way that swimming in lane 1 and 8 going after the same championship are battling.
it was time trial at that point.
All right. I think I've nominated everything, not to jinx myself or to
You didn't nominate Debo.
That's true.
Get out
That's
of here.
true. Devo, that's the big winner of the event. This is what this is. This is an event. This is not a podcast. This is a whole event. All right. Breakout athlete of the year. This is 2 different categories, male and female. 2024 calendar year.
Is it BK or is it me?
Brakken.
BK. Are we doing? What do you want to start with, Bracken?
Let's start with the ladies.
Ladies.
Cop out.
I have a pick for either one. I have one pick for either one.
Prove it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joanna Whitrick.
Yeah, that's
You could call that a cop out because it's so easy to choose.
that's gonna be
She
hard.
became the only person in modern history to take it to one of the GOATs. She is instantly a factor in the world championship. And at every race she runs from here on out, she came onto the scene hot, only got faster, and has passed every test that's been put in front of her so far. Fastest rise we've seen in the sport.
Can't argue.
It's good. It's good.
Can't
I'm
argue.
going to go with a friend of the show. I'm going to go with Kate Davey, who came into the sport. I don't want to say late, but later. She's in the 35 to 39 age group. Has steadily ascended. Has done very well at both majors this year, getting third in the Hong Kong major, and is continuing to improve. And I mean, I don't know that I would necessarily say that she is a title contender, but she is a podium threat. If anybody messes up or slips up, she will be there to eat them up at World Championships.
I like that. I had her as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good one.
If Joanna doesn't exist in this world, she's the obvious choice. She ascended.
Yep.
Jack.
All right. If we're looking at breakthrough athlete on the women's side, it's got to be Amy Bevilacqua. I looked at all the different women who have a PR of 65 minutes or faster, and she has the second best PR improvement. So she's improved her time by 7.4% previous. Her old PR before the season was 106.04. Now she's a 101.09. Almost 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 55 seconds of improvement. And we've talked about her as a potential podium threat at majors, depending on who shows up. And she's 50 years old. Like, just, it's crazy what she's done.
Who has the biggest improvement?
Lucy Proctor, but she has a 7.7%. Her course was on Dublin, so I think that was a little fast right there. So Amy's hers was on Toronto, which is a pretty fair course, so that's why I give a little more credit towards that one.
Jack's butt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up. So this also came in through a couple of Patreon people, but
Got to open the side chat so I can read some of this.
I like this as well, though. Kat Fassbender on the women's side for coming from doubles competitor in HYROX to, running 66 is opening, but finishing second behind Lauren Weeks, beating the reigning world champion, Morgan Schulz at DEKAFIT. So certainly a name to watch. Like, I think that she could probably be nominated for this next year as well, if she continues to ascend through HYROX. But the name we know now.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll also give an honorable mention to show that I have reach, not just a HYROX guy. Janelle Teal in the Deca Mile was very impressive, because we know that Tara Jackson might be Miss Deca, and to go toe to toe with Tara for as long as she did was very impressive.
Janelle is consistently good enough to get in, but not really be a factor. And she got like 14th or 15th at a couple previous DECA races. And then to find herself leading 15 minutes into about a 20-minute race in DECA Mile ahead of Tara was pretty incredible.
Will we give it to Joanna?
Knocking off
mine.
one of the goats. I mean, yes, I think we have to.
If anyone beat one of them, they get it. Let alone a newbie.
When was the last time? It had to be Michaela Norman, right? We haven't seen
Linda Meyer in DC, right?
Linda Meyer. No, Lauren won. I know, but I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying winning. Okay,
winning.
I thought it was just simply.
We haven't had. It's been over 24 months at this point since someone named Megan Lauren has won. Well, not anymore, but prior to that, it had been 24 months since someone named Megan Lauren had won a HYROX major. Because she won DC. Michaela won DC, right, back in 2020.
She won Chicago.
Oh yeah, Chicago in 2022.
Yes,
sounds about right. Yeah,
it had been like 2 years.
Yeah,
it's been a long time. Close.
It's only been 1 year.
No, she wasn't in Chicago the year that Brakken and I did doubles, so it was 22.
Yeah, because that was the year Kent.
That was your BK and I did.
That's right.
Doubles.
That was Kent and Ryland, and Meg won that. I think Meg won that one. So
that would have been performance of the year.
With your whole duration thing, that it kind of reminds me of when it's like you had Nicole and Lindsay and they went on a 3 or 4 year run and no one else won anything, and Emma came along. This is what Joanna is right now, and she is instantly a podium threat, potentially a winner at World Championships. Can she execute? That's the only remaining question.
But Emma never beat Lindsay.
No,
right?
That's true.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, that is wild. A couple times she got really close.
Lindsay ducked her at NORAM at Tahoe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
On to the dudes.
Matt,
You're up.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with, this is the easy one, the other Australian who is also the breakthrough. I think JK finishing the relentless ascent that he has been on for the last, really since Worlds in Manchester, to finally come in to Brakken's point we were talking about, has the torch been passed from Hunter to Ronk, is Ronk Thanos? And in the very next race, JK emphatically said no. Or at least he can be beaten. So JK.
Yep.
Good one.
All
Very
right.
good one.
Good one.
He will be on the show next week. Teaser.
Teaser.
Nice.
Subscribe.
That one.
Share with your friends.
All right. So I am actually going to use stats. Imagine that. And if I look at every single athlete who had a PR under an hour heading into the season, and what have they done to improve since then? The answer is
taking my
Rich
pick?
Ryan. Rich
Oh,
Ryan,
my pick.
7.4%. You are the most improved athlete out there. You asserted yourself into the conversation of you could seriously podium or win a major.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you're
you.
a threat at World Championships.
Thank you.
If you look at the rest of the field, the next closest is James Kelly, who has had a 4.7%. Rich Ryan's like, shove that up your butt. I'm a couple percent even better.
Up Jack's butt.
Yep.
The only thing here is I've already won this award.
It's all good.
I can't win. I can't. Can you win?
Not because of HYROX.
Can you
You
win
won it
those
because of
two
DEKA.
That's
twice?
true.
Can you
You
win,
did
can
it
you win
'cause of DEKA.
breakout? Can you double breakout?
Yeah.
Oh, you can double breakout.
Well,
You can't triple stack a double breakout, but you can double breakout.
I will not be voting for myself here, but thank you. But thank you.
You are
The
statistically the most
stats
improved.
are there. I like
Yeah.
that the stats back it
Yep.
up. I like that the stats back that up. BK?
I don't have a third option. These were my two. So
Ooh, I got two. I got three.
I might have to turn to the DEKA world.
Yeah.
There's a pretty obvious one there.
I think just in general, I'm going to say Colin.
Colin.
Colin was here last year, yes, but I'm still doing season, not calendar year. I don't care what everyone's trying to make me do, trying to turn me into a
Rules are rules.
calendar sheep. I won't do it. Standing up for all of us out here. So Colin Stiefert.
I thought you were gonna go Grayson Kilgore.
That's who
I
would've
wanted to
gone
go
with.
Grayson because he's just continually improved every single time we've seen him.
Getting
Colin
second.
got a world championship.
That's true.
And I don't think that was on a lot of cards. And it's hard to top an improvement up to a world championship. So Grayson might just get this steadily achieving athlete of like the last 3 years award, but Colin gets my vote right now.
Grayson did beat him 2 out of 3 races head to head.
If you had
Not the world championship. And that's what
I
I'm
know.
mostly basing
But he like
this off.
separated his shoulder or something. Or I think he got a side cramp. Someone said, but yeah, he did beat him head
Sounds
to
like
head.
a weakness.
Yeah.
this is gonna sound like I'm belittling this, but where would you stick an OCR World Championships at Mammoth this year in terms of importance or how impressive it was in the entire DEKA weekend? Like it is as good as a DEKA Strong World Championship?
Mile.
Is it a DEKA team?
It's below fit. Definitely below fit.
It's mile.
Low fit.
Yeah.
It's that high.
I don't think so.
Is
I,
Mile-
I would
Is
put
Mile-
strong above it.
To me,
You put-
mile's the least important event of the weekend other than every single team race.
So it's somewhere in between the team race. You
Mine
got
goes
all the
fit,
individuals.
strong, mile.
I like. All right.
Yeah, but then BK, I have a question for you on that. So then is DEKA Strong even hybrid, or is it just a CrossFit workout?
It's never been done as a CrossFit workout, so it is not a CrossFit workout.
Right, but my point is, you
Gonna be
said
the
that
games this
mile.
year.
You said that mile is not impressive, but at least the running.
No,
is
no,
what
no. I didn't
makes
say
it-
impressive. I said important. In terms of the ranking of how I weight the championships on the
Mhm.
weekend. I
Mhm.
think it's harder to win strong than mile.
That's fair.
Mile is after fit. So
That's
it's,
fair.
you could come in fresh.
You
for
could be a
mile.
good. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You could be if you're a good runner, you could overcompensate for the stations.
Or if you're a good fit guy, you can just skip fit and do mile and be fresh and maybe get it. It doesn't matter. We've seen people try that for strong. It doesn't always work.
Co-ed Strong. Mammoth World Championship. All right.
Peace
I'm
out.
up. I'm gonna pick a guy,
Didn't you pick Grayson? Or
No. I said
Oh, that
I
was
picked Grayson for Brakken. I corrected Brackens. And then, I'm gonna pick a guy that by the name of Pelayo Menendez Fernandez. So we could say, going from fourth, JK when he started his first HYROX, he ran 59 something. Right. So like he kind of burst onto the scene. Pelayo, what do you run? 68, 69 or something like that. To then go all the way to
He did win the
finish.
North American Open Championships in his very first race with a 50
Open.
something.
Yeah.
Still
Open.
That was 2023.
And now it's for him to beat Hunter. Fourth in the world. Podium
second Vienna.
Yes, podium at Vienna. And has already qualified this season for Worlds. Oh,
Third in Hong Kong.
Gotta give it to my guy.
You know what I'm hearing from all of this is percent of improvement matters most, and I'm going to win this next year.
You
I have a 117 first one.
To be fair,
you gotta get on.
I have been.
All I have to do is cross a finish line, and I win this next year.
I've been listening to Race Brain for 2 years, and I keep hearing about how this is the year that BK is going to take on a HYROX Pro. It hasn't happened.
He was going to jump into Deka or Ocala also.
I'm not saying that I'm going to, but if I cross a finish line, if percent of improvement is all that matters in breakout performer, my point is in building me up. It's calling into light here the fallacy of what we're doing. Is this most improved award or is this breakout performer?
Is it different?
It is. Most improved is how much have you improved. Breakout is what height have you hit that you didn't have before.
Yeah, because I would say
key difference.
Well,
I do agree with
third versus fourth, and then if you take that into consideration, like a secondary one, and Pelayo has some doubles credentials, not for the past year, but in the current year, faster than JK has.
But I do think that matters. I do think that matters because even though you have won this award before, when I think breakthrough, I think winning. When I think improvement, I mean, Rich, you were a 58, 59 guy, and now you're a 54 guy. That's crazy improvement.
That's a huge improvement.
But until you get on, but breakthrough would be you getting on a podium at a major.
I have been on a podium at a major.
So he can't break through unless
Winning
he wins. Now, if he wins,
that's right.
There's just a difference
Shout out to
between
DC.
breakout performer of the year and most improved. Which is why Joanna can be a breakout performer of the year and have the smallest percent of improvement maybe throughout the year.
She started like 65 something.
I think breakout, it's like someone that wasn't even. I had like Yannick Chopla on here too, like someone you haven't even heard of. Yeah. Right.
I mean, realistically, the biggest percent change, Alan Cow, he went from 108.05 to 58.51. His time 13.5% better than it used to be. Like he is the most improved. But I think Rich has entered the conversation.
Well, Dawson Miller went from a 65 to a 58 low. I mean,
I'm not going to accept this award if I get voted for this. I'm voting for JK.
I vote Rich.
You can send me the check.
I also vote Rich.
Rich. There we go, Rich.
I don't want that.
We're talking most improved. It's Rich.
No.
We're talking breakout. That's something different.
It's breakout.
JK.
All right. Let's do it. It
Thank
should be
you.
Rich, though.
No,
Rich is going to
get.
I
already won this.
We'll call it the Rich Ryan Award.
Rich is going to get a
How about that?
non-hermetically sealed bag of ochre from me in the mail for this one.
I won
Room
this my
temperature.
sophomore year in college too. There was I don't think it was called Breakout Most Improved or something like that. But
That means
only
that,
because
like-
I sucked real bad my freshman year.
I
I
was
came
gonna
in
say,
as like a good recruit, but was awful. And it was like
who
less awful than
salvaged
sophomore
their recruiting status?
Like
Yeah.
like Jamison Williams, right? That's a breakout year. He's got over 1,000 yards receiving. Dude, like he always had the talent, but was he going to put it together? That's a breakout.
Hey, PEDs will get you there.
Not anymore.
that-
He's clean.
That could be in a couple of years. That'll be an award here on.
Listen, I
for
got
hybrid stuff.
most improved my junior year in every sport I did. And what that really was the latest kid to go through puberty.
Yeah.
That's it. Chemical enhancements change things in sports, and we need to recognize that with an award.
So I think that makes sense. We'll put it on the docket for next.
Next year, we will add
Oprah's-
who's most likely on PEDs.
The most enhanced.
Glow
Most
up
enhanced.
of the year.
If the enhanced games happen, we're doing that as our goofy games category.
Oh, I thought you were saying we were going to do them.
BK's like, we're talking now.
Now we're going to percent improve. Yeah.
We've done it. We've gotten ourselves to the hybrid athlete of the year final award. We don't have a name for this yet. with Hobie Call on the OCR side. Hybrid's fine.
I thought we were gonna do the biggest controversy. I thought that was.
We can kick around some controversy.
Okay.
I think I lead this one off.
You got a controversy?
I do, because I actually thought this was going to be the hardest one to come up with. And the biggest controversy was the boneheaded decision by HYROX to institute those damn wall ball counters at the biggest race of the year, the World Championships, which actually caused problems with the no reps on the women's side. We do talk
And
about how
men's.
Lauren and men's, but the women's side was more of a disaster because we had 3 women who got no reps and didn't realize that they got no reps because they saw 100 on the screen and they took off. They didn't see the minus. I respect the technology. I respect the fact that HYROX is trying to improve things. I think the technology is great. I think that all of the kinks should have been worked out before we instituted it at the single biggest race of the season. That's my controversy.
Those things give me like anxiety. Like when I'm doing wall balls, I'm like, I need to hit that mark. That mark's like a dime size on there. So yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
All right. Mine is a favorite topic of everyone on the show. Why are times still counting towards major qualification? We had Rylan Shadig podium at a major to qualify for world championships, and his time isn't fast enough to even run in the next major. This system is broken.
Is he out?
I don't know. But he qualified for worlds, but I don't know if he can make Las Vegas.
No, Rylan, after his Hong Kong performance, is in, but he was out.
But like the fact that that is even a possibility, if he didn't go to Hong Kong and he's like, hey, I just didn't run a good time in the US. I've proven I'm good enough to potentially podium at Worlds. I've beaten the defending world champion. Like,
it's very silly.
It was going to be someone for a while. It was Graham.
Graham was there. Yeah.
After Amsterdam, Graham podiumed at Amsterdam and then wasn't in the rest of the majors, which was absurd. Now
we have
back,
multiple occurrences of it.
He is back in. Now we've got John Wynn, who has been in every major for the last 2 years. He will likely get a roll down, but he's out. So someone who has been in every major race.
He hasn't qualified for Worlds. I think that's fine for that sake. But it's like if you got a podium, if it's Graham podiumed at was it Amsterdam or Hong Kong? And then he's just like can't be in the next race is very silly.
There's only one endurance event on the planet where people care about the time at championship events, and that's swimming. No running event do they ever say you ran too slow while winning, you can't come to the next one, except for HYROX. That's it.
Silly.
Racing's racing. Running fast is running fast. Don't conflate the two. I like it, Jack.
Rich.
Who's up? Am I up? I have. All right, I'm gonna go with Deka.
Yeah.
Doing retroactive penalties, and this is kind of for the public as well, right? Like I think it was with Jess Caviglia. She got reinstated for something that happened, and then later something happened that people got punished for after the fact. And like we hated that there was both that could happen, but just them adding retroactive penalties is very dumb.
Yes,
and it just added an element of just silliness that Deka or a Spartan event definitely does not need. So
Mark Paulzine getting a different penalty than Robert Killian for the same infraction. I think once they brought Dave Claxton in, things, I'm telling you, like Deka World Championship was much improved. The judging, all that, but for years it was just get it right, guys. Come on.
I like it. I agree with it all. And I'm going to get even more specific with the remaining issue that has not been fixed, and yet they still televise as the capstone to every race. The terrible, horrendous, nonsensical, illogical burpee form that is allowed at every single Deka championship event and every event throughout the year. There is no standard that's upheld. I've watched the lead judges, who I personally know and like, stand there and watch one arm lock out and one's doing the stanky leg off to the side for every single rep of a championship winner just a few weeks ago. Every single podium was marred by it. I cannot stand the rep police, and yet it's so egregious. I have to look at it and say it's outrageous. I'm just going to call DEKAFIT burpees as the biggest controversy of the year still.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Surprised no mention of the rower.
The rower, that was an honorable mention for sure.
That was a highlight to me.
You like that?
Love it. That was
Yeah, but I felt like
It
they
was
made
a
it
good-
right. It was definitely controversy, but they made it right.
But it caused one athlete to drop out. I mean,
that
he
would cause
didn't.
him
He
to
didn't
drop out.
need to.
Yeah,
He didn't
the-
injure him.
The other athlete didn't drop out.
I know. Yeah,
Didn't
I'm saying he
cause
didn't
it.
need to, but
Disqualified is what he says.
Yeah.
These are all really good bad ones.
those-
Really bad good ones.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do here.
I vote wall balls. That makes it easier for you.
Did that? But
World
that-
championship.
That was not good.
How many
Yeah,
no
I'm-
reps did Ron get?
It was on the biggest stage.
It was on the biggest
So-
stage, but did it really change the outcome?
Yes.
How many
But some-
no reps did Ron get? How many did Sandy get?
Viola crossed the line, laid
second,
down,
and then
had to get up, run back, do an additional wall ball, and in that time, Lauren finished. It did change the outcome because if
but-
she would have gotten one no rep and then she would have just caught it, gone back down, and done one more, Viola Oberlander is second at
Second.
Worlds.
She got a penalty earlier in that race, and she got another penalty as well. Like I think they gave her a penalty.
Okay, but
for
then
that
who
wall
got
ball
third?
thing.
Who got third in that race?
Vivian.
Vivian.
And I
Vivian
think
did the same
because-
thing.
But I think that I don't know. It's silly. Okay,
And then
I'm-
Linda did the same thing. So yeah, it did. It
She got
absolutely
fifth.
changed the outcome. It absolutely changed the outcome because there was
She got
three
fifth,
women that
Linda?
were-
or
there
no?
were three women affected by it that had to go
Yeah.
back.
Plus, this is the sprint finish. This is coming down the home stretch and not knowing how many meters everyone has left to run because you can't tell if each stride counts or not. Like it's the most foolish ending to a world championship race is to not know what's happening.
I agree. We need a sprint. We need a sprint finish. Give us something.
Yeah.
Change it all. That'll be my country. Ending with wall balls and not with a run.
Wall
If we're
balls.
critiquing. If we're critiquing. All right, wall ball target. Important side note. Did Bracken
No.
break 5 today?
Didn't you break
Not-
5 yesterday?
Not today.
But I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah, he did yesterday. Was it
Got him.
47?
58.
Where'd you start rigging up?
I didn't.
400 to go?
Smooth.
74 and a half every lap.
Just
Question: If
240,
you weren't
227.
if you
That
weren't
bicarb
blowing
in
your
ya?
guts, if you weren't blowing your guts all over porcelain, how much faster do you go than 458?
57.
Yeah, that might have made him lighter.
He's light right now.
Yeah, probably 520. It's 525.
Yeah,
What's 11 pounds worth?
Yeah, it's a minute. It's a second a pound, I think.
Yeah.
Big poop.
So he's over.
So does that make Dawson the
509.
fastest whitewater guy in this?
What did he
competition?
run?
He did like 444 hungover earlier this year.
Oh, I could have run 444 that day.
Mm.
This was not an all out
just
effort.
pick a day. I'm doing it. Yeah,
BK's
No,
got
right
it.
there.
yeah.
It was an out and back on a bike path.
Out and back miles insane.
That is crazy.
That's an absurd
With
thing.
the
Why not,
sharp turn.
why not a point to point? Why didn't you just like go and just go
Because
straight?
with
Is it-
there's a rationale to all this. It's a bike path that's not perfectly flat. So to get
Downhill,
not a
Nick
net
Riker
drop,
style.
to get not net drop, I would have to go uphill into the wind. The only point to point spot I could find that had an up and a down of equal was going to gain like 34 feet in the first half mile. I didn't want any part of that. So I went out, gained 13 feet, came back, gained 13 feet.
Lost it flying.
They have tracks, but that's fine.
All were closed except for a paved asphalt track. And it was like 39 degrees.
Just jump
and
the track at
wet
Marquette. That's
and
what we
windy.
do. Just
Yeah.
jump the Marquette track. That's what we do. It's fine.
The thing is, I had one bullet in the chamber. If I get stopped in the middle of that, I'm giving up for the year.
It's over.
Yep.
21 years.
I took what I had and I made it work.
There we go.
All right.
Big
Now,
category.
now we've done it. Hybrid athlete of the year. Who had the best season? Who's starting?
I think is that me?
No, I was last. So it's Jack.
All right. Which
Jack.
which category?
Your call.
Let's go with the women.
Ladies.
Meg Jacoby won the world championship in dominating fashion. I know that she didn't win the previous majors before that, but she put all of her eggs in that world championship basket. You know, quit her job, went all in on HYROX, paid off. She had the most impressive performance of the year and took home the title that everybody wanted.
Good one.
True.
True that. True all of that.
Rich.
I'm up. All right. Well, I'm going to have to go Lauren Weeks. Even though she did not win the world championship, she set the world record. She won 3 majors. She won DEKAFIT World Championships at the
In a
DEKAFIT
record.
World Record.
And broke her own world record
Yeah, so she had a really good year.
without a watch.
Doesn't not a mace fit athlete.
If you didn't watch the race or look at the time, if it's just first and second at Worlds and the majors and the world record and DEKA, it's clear it's Lauren.
The
It's just that
totality.
HYROX was very definitive in that
Yes,
moment.
totally.
Yeah, see, this is where my question for you all earlier that I was going to circle back to is like, how much, obviously this is the HYROX show, but how much higher do we rate HYROX? Because if we go hybrid athlete of the year, Brakken brings up a valid point, which is she's got 3 major wins. The other 2 majors in HYROX that she was in, the World Championships and then Hong Kong, she took second. So she's never done worse than second on the year. And she broke her own world record in DEKAFIT and won a DEKAFIT World Championship. So she did it over multiple races.
Has to count for something, but I mean, it's not necessarily the race brand. It's just like who's there.
She's the best hybrid athlete of the year. And I don't think it's close because Meg didn't do anything else. Meg probably could have done the exact same thing at every.
She also won
distance
she also won an
didn't.
OCR race.
Irrelevant. Now we're getting
Different
off. Now
timelines,
Yeah.
Reach.
now we're
but
getting
valid.
No, didn't she just run like Utah or Seattle, like earlier, like in the fall?
Killed everybody in the
Yeah.
Crushed them.
Yeah.
10 plus minutes. The thing with Lauren is if you're looking at head to head, which impacted it in our, the OCR show, she's 3-1 versus Meg. Meg has the crown jewel. She won that world championship, but the majors are not irrelevant. And she won 3 of those, and she has a world title on her own in a different event that Meg didn't show up to. She wouldn't have been able to health wise anyway. But
So maybe then Brakken and I we should just debate this because I don't know that anyone else even makes
Yeah.
sense. I
I
mean,
was gonna say, like, what else we do?
who else are we gonna say? We're gonna be reaching. And my argument would be if we're talking the HYROX athlete of the year, the answer is Meg Jacoby. If we are talking the hybrid athlete of the year, no disrespect to my homie Meg, but Lauren has done it across multiple modalities and races and is still performed at an incredibly high level in HYROX as well.
Listen, Meg had the best single HYROX race of the year, which was World Championship. She had one. She was 1 in 3. The one was just loud. It was a loud one. But Lauren was the better HYROX athlete this year. Let's say World Championship and world record balance each other out. Now it's just 3 against 1.
Yeah, because in this calendar year, she's got the world record, 3 wins, 2 seconds, DEKAFIT world record, DEKAFIT world championship, and also was in other races as well.
I think Meg had the most important performance of all when it counted, but Lauren was the best hybrid athlete of the year. That's my vote.
It's like finals. It's like
more.
NBA Finals MVP versus regular season MVP.
They are weighted more, yes. But to me, this was kind of like a Eli versus Tom Brady thing.
Now
Eli won the Super Bowl, but he wasn't better that year.
We already discussed that the wall ball controversy on the women's side in Nice resulted in Lauren getting that second place. Realistically, like she could have been fourth, could have been like there are no asterisks. But let's say she did all the wall balls that you didn't have any controversy there. She could have finished 5th right there. Would that have affected things where it's like now she has an outlier?
She still has 3 major wins, a second place in Hong Kong, and which I know Meg wasn't there, but she still has 3 major wins. She still has a second without the controversy, and she still has the world record. She also has a different world title and a world record in that. And so that's what I'm saying. If it's the best HYROX athlete of the year, the answer is Meg. If it is the best hybrid athlete of the year, only one of them did multiple hybrid events at an elite level.
And Marcus makes a very good point, which is Lauren had a bed sled.
Terrible point.
What is a bed sled, Marcus?
Yeah.
Bed sled.
Bed sled.
Must be that
Spelling
Wisconsin
matters in this
public
life.
school.
We're taking that. We're taking his free.
But that's why I asked, like, if we're saying that HYROX is up here and everything else is down here, then I can see the argument for Meg. But if it is hybrid, then I think it's Lauren.
But even if you're only doing HYROX solely,
See, this is what the people want. This is a debate.
But she's still 3-1 head-to-head against Meg realistically. And
Right,
I think
but world championships have to, but world championships
I know
have
that,
to matter
but
on
is
the
it
biggest
worth
stage.
three times more? Like, what if, like, Hobie Call, he in OCR, he won like the entire U.S. National Series, and then he had a bad performance at Tahoe his last race. It's like he was still the best athlete of the year. He beat everybody all year consistently, and I think, you know, this is a very similar system for Lauren. She just didn't have her best performance on the biggest stage. But is a world championship worth 3 times more than majors, where everybody else who you're likely facing is going to be there anyway?
All right, let's vote.
I mean, and last year we picked Meg as the hybrid athlete of the year without winning the world championship. Very similar, just flipped this year.
But she also, but you could have made the same argument because I believe in 2023 she competed in DEKA and had the world record in DEKA, right?
I think it's the exact same scenario, just flipped.
Yeah.
So I vote Lauren.
Yeah,
I think this whole show has been, we've been mentioning DEKA, we've been mentioning HYROX. It is a hybrid award, so I think with that, like, I'm going Lauren.
Plus, we haven't even mentioned the thing that tips. She did HYROX strong. That tips it. It's Lauren.
HYROX strong.
What?
Weighted HYROX, whatever you want to call it.
What are we talking about?
The
Go
weight
Ruck?
vest.
Oh, the Go Ruck.
That's strong.
True.
Go Ruck. It's hard for me to even say the term Go Ruck out
She won
loud.
$5,000 for it. You can't say it's nothing. She won $5,000 for it. So that is true.
You're
I
speaking
also
Matt
vote
Mason's
Lauren.
language. Yeah,
I just think to Jack's point, I do think the majors have to matter because there is serious money on the line for the winners. So yes, the world championship is the biggest one of them all, but they are still big races with big stakes with money involved. So if it's hybrid, I say Lauren.
All right. On to the dudes.
Check the mail.
Who's on Race Brain talking trash in the comments?
That's me.
I like it.
What do you think?
Duality of Rich.
All right. To the dudes. Who's starting?
Is it still Jack? Or if it's not Jack, it goes to you, Rich.
I did Meg, so I'm last.
Yeah.
I guess is any honorable mentions? I had like Tara written down. She had a good DEKA couple of days.
Joanna at this point.
I guess. I had
Linda
Vivian on
Meyer
there.
had a bunch of
Linda
podiums,
Meyer
like,
had a bunch of
second
podiums
place.
and got second place.
It's a 2 athlete race, realistically.
Yeah,
Those were the only ones who can win that award.
Yeah. Nice. I'm gonna go with Alex Ronkovic here on the male side. Won the world championship. And that's really, yeah. And Vienna.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Won a major this season. He's doing pretty good.
I would say that he was the best HYROX athlete of the year. But the best hybrid athlete was Rylan Shoteg. And I don't think it's close.
What?
I think he was untouchable in one of the 2 main players in the hybrid game. And he was a factor in every single race he ran in HYROX.
He only ran one DEKA event. It's the one you like the least.
Well,
He
no,
did
he
set a
qualified
record.
he qualified for the strong, and then he dropped out at the championship.
Yeah. He set a record in mile and
Didn't he set the record in strong?
You don't have to agree with my
Not in the
vote.
race.
I'm
Yeah.
submitting my presentation. Rylan Shoteg.
Boo.
Hybrid is akin to Goofy Games, which basically tests as many skills as we can cram into a box. Rylan had the most of them this year. He didn't race the most. He didn't have the most success, but he was the best at all the most things at once. So I vote Rylan Shoteg. Ronk was my number 1 choice. You took it. This is your fault.
All right. Boo.
You earned Rylan Shoteg, and I hope he wins now.
I will not stand for it.
Yeah, this is what my plea here would be for either we need a different race that people are interested in, or the dudes need to do more than just HYROX. Because if we're talking best HYROX athlete, I'm also with Rich on Ronco. If we are going to go hybrid athlete, I'm going to go back to the hybrid raccoon. He won a HYROX major. He won the DEKAFIT World Championships. He won the DEKA Ultra. He did he do? I mean, he's probably done other things this year.
He
But if we're
won
going
local races like for
Yeah.
DEKA as well.
if we're gonna go hybrid athlete, I would go with Dylan just because he tested himself in multiple modalities.
And Ruck.
And Rock.
HYROX strong. This is
that called
something
HYROX
that
strong anymore?
Strong. Yeah.
this
That
is
doesn't
something
make
that's
any sense. There's running. I don't get it.
This is a phenomenon that happened a while back to BK, that anybody that would come on the Running Public, he would come on our show and just be like, yeah, they're the best. So we just had the Hybrid Raccoon on with Matt Mason, and now Matt's just like every award, every category.
What did
Dylan
Ronco
Scott.
do this? What did Ronco do this year outside of HYROX?
I have Dylan on here as well. He did have a good season. The DEKAFIT stuff, like
Yeah.
the DEKAFIT World Championship, has to count for something.
And just so we're clear, the person he was talking about was Lauren Weeks, who came on.
No,
my show
it was
and said
it was everybody every time.
It's consistent. Wait till Lucas comes on your show. It's gonna be a
he's not
love
allowed
fest.
on.
Not allowed?
No.
I'm just saying. What name one other elite athlete that challenged themselves? I mean, you and Kent said, "Nah, dude, we're out. You guys don't even do it anymore."
Dude, you're gonna start sounding like the people that put on the goofy games. Like, whatever, they just do one event. What
No,
if they
because
had
you know what? If I was
what
going to
if-
sound like them, I would say Jack Driscoll. All right, if that's what
my
I would
boy.
actually. That's yeah.
Birds.
He's a dog. That's what I would say, but I didn't. So
You're about to make the points. What if we strapped a log onto the? What if they had to carry
Porter
a
row.
rower?
what if
up
we
a mountain.
tied their
top of a
hands
mountain?
behind their back
we
and
can
threw them in a pool?
we can end this very easily.
Who's better at a bob test?
If
I
you're
need a
putting
nomination.
on
Yeah.
if you're putting on a brand new hybrid event, who's the first athlete you invite to be the face of your event and post
You're doing
about it?
You're doing the
Hunter
Perkins
McIntyre.
thing?
Cole Schwartz.
I mean, he'll be there.
Yeah.
Be there.
He's my reigning pick for hybrid athlete of the year.
I
Yep.
did have Dylan on here, and I think Dylan is a logical one.
After
He-
hearing the rationale, Dylan may edge Ryland in my mind.
All right.
Jack, you got anybody?
Yeah, the only other one that I was gonna mention, I was gonna go between Alex and Dylan, but James Kelly has to be mentioned. Realistically, start of the year, he got 9th place in Vienna, 7th place in DC, and then just that last chance qualifier in Cologne, winning that, taking 3rd at Worlds, and all he's done is first, second, and first at his other 4 races, 2 of them which are majors. He's won a major. He took down the reigning world champion at this point. We're talking about him as a potential world champion this upcoming season in Chicago. So I don't know how you can't at least give him a little bit of nomination here.
And with all that said, and after I made my argument, there's only one correct answer, and that is Alexander Ronkovich.
It's Ronco.
That is my vote.
Love you, Ronco. Okay, Jack's up to you.
I'm going Dylan also for 2nd place. So Alex, you win. See
Nice.
That? See that?
Got
See
him.
that? Yeah.
Got me.
See that?
We got to wrap this thing up. BK has some
Bathroom to do.
something. Yeah, who did win? This is a good question. Before we leave, last thing we need to know:
Cole.
who won Battle? I don't think so.
No,
It was somebody
I-
I'd never
it was-
heard of.
It was that who's some CrossFitter who's done it the past couple of years.
Austin
No,
Dommel.
Phil Muscarella won
Not
last year.
Muscarella. It was an M, I thought.
I think he won last year. This year, I
Okay.
don't even think
Could have
he was
been Jack
out there.
Driscoll.
No, he was on the podium though.
Jack did well.
I don't know. Debo, you tell me. HybridCon games, of course. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Matt, you want to take us out?
That is the Race Brain HYROX show. Shout outs to my special guest. Hope to be seeing you boys more often in the new year. If we don't talk to you, we don't hear from you, have a happy new year, and do us a favor. Give us some ideas for names. We could use it.
I just got to be on the show just so I can get that love for you come okras.
You're my
So
boy.
I get- that's what I'm saying.
You're my boy.
We nominate you. You're not even going to
Jack
get a
Jack
award.
tried to nominate me. Backhanded ass compliment. I already won that shit.
Yeah.
Breaking
My
out
boy.
again. I
I'm
don't want
saying the
that.
numbers don't lie, and you deserve
In
another
Milwaukee,
Thank you.
we are loyal folk. All right. If you're our people, you're our people. Right.
That with the Debo taking the big win. Upset of the year was the win that Debo had in the upset of the year category.
And Dawson.
And Dawson.
And awesome.
All right, later.
Later.